subscribe my channel for physics, G and NEET.
Hello students, good morning all of you. Today in our video we want to learn about the law of conservation of energy, and in this video we have to practice the derivations for the potential energy and the kinetic energy of the bodies, and also we have to learn how the law of conservation of energy is verified in vertically projected body and the freely falling body. Okay, so please make notes and learn with concentration. Thank you. Before going to start our class, dear students, please subscribe our channel and like, share, comment, and please give me support. Thank you. Let us start our topic. At first we have to learn work. So it was already completed, and it is nothing but work done, and conservative and non-conservative forces. Conservative and non-conservative forces. This is also available in our channel. And the third one, work done in various concepts. Work done various concepts. Okay. And the fourth one, last video, that is work energy theorem. Work energy theorem and various concepts for the numericals. These are all completed in this chapter. Now we have to study about the energy. Right? These are all videos I will be provided in our iCards, which is on our top of our videos. There is I symbol. You have to click here. All the videos will be shown. Okay? Right, energy. So energy, it is nothing but the capacity or the ability to do work. Capacity or ability to do work. To do work is called energy. The capacity or ability to do work, that is the energy. Energy, it is nothing but the mechanical energy. Mechanical energy. The energy of your body, here the meaning it is mechanical energy of the body. So mechanical energy are two types. That is, first one, potential energy, and the second one, kinetic energy. Potential energy is PE is equal to mgh. Kinetic energy KE is equal to 1 by 2 mv square. Right? So what is the potential energy of your body? How we can define the potential energy of your body? The energy possessed by the body, the energy possessed by the body by virtue of its state or position. Its state or position. The energy possessed by the body by virtue of its state and పొజిషన్. ఇట్ మీన్స్ ఒక వస్తువుకి దాని స్థితి వల్ల లేదా స్థానం వల్ల లభించేటువంటి శక్తి, దాన్నే పొటెన్షియల్ ఎనర్జీ అంటాం. స్థితి స్థానం అంటే at which location the object was lying with respect to the surface of the earth or the ground point. So that is the position or the state. Coming to the kinetic energy, the energy possessed by the body, the energy possessed by the body by virtue of its, the energy possessed by the body by virtue of its motion. It means ఏదైనా ఒక వస్తువుకి దాని చలనం వల్ల, మోషన్ మీన్స్ గమనము లేదా చలనం, ఒక వస్తువుకి దాని గమనం వల్ల లభించేటువంటి శక్తినే గతి శక్తి అంటాం. దట్ ఈస్ కైనెటిక్ ఎనర్జీ. ఇట్ మీన్స్ ఏ బాడీ విచ్ ఈజ్ ఇన్ మోషన్. A body which is in motion having the kinetic energy. The fired bullet from the gun, having the kinetic energy. The flowing of water has the kinetic energy. A vehicle moving on the surface of road, it has kinetic energy. Okay. In potential energy, a man is standing on the first floor of the building. He has some potential energy. Stored water in a overhead tank, it has potential energy. A flying bird has both potential and kinetic energy. Derivation for the potential energy of a body. Consider a mass of m body on the earth. The work done to lift up the body in upward direction up to height h. The height it is h. Here the work done should be stored in the form of potential energy. How much work done should be acts to displace the body from the ground state to h height in upwards, right? So in this concept, the work done is stored in the form of potential energy. So here the height of the body is very much less than to the radius of the earth. The height of the body, for example, so this is the earth, this is the surface of the earth, this is the radius. The height moving by the particle is less than to the radius of the earth. Okay, so here the gravitational force mg on the body, should be act in downward direction. Now the body is at h height and the acceleration due to gravity should be acts in downwards. Okay, so therefore the work done W, it is equal force into displacement. Here F is equal to mg and S is equal to h. Therefore work done, it is equal to mg into h. So this work done should be stored in the form of potential energy. So this is the derivation for the potential energy, or it should be written as U is equal to PE is equal to mgh. The potential energy of the body should be depends on the height of the body. Okay, if height is less, the potential energy of the body is less. If height is more, the potential energy of the body is more. Now the points to remember potential energy. The first point, it is potential energy can be positive or negative or zero. Potential energy can be positive or negative or zero. And the second point, it is a moving body may or may not have potential energy. A moving body may or may not have potential energy. It means if a body is moving on the surface of earth, here there is a block of mass m. By the applied external force, it will be in moving, and then it has no potential energy because of the height of the body. The body should be located at the surface of earth, then h is equal to 0, then the potential energy of the body is equal to 0. But in another case, if a bird is flying on the sky, so then it has some height from the surface of earth, it has some potential energy, and it is in moving, it has some kinetic energy. So a body may or may not have potential energy. It may or may not have potential. In this case there is no potential energy. In this case there is a potential energy and also kinetic energy, right? The third point it is the potential energy should be considered to be a property of the entire system. Potential energy is not belongs to a particle. Is not belongs to a particle. It belongs to entire system, right? For suppose if a mass m of a body is located at the height of h from the ground, then it has potential energy Pe. It is equal to mgh. So here this mgh contains total body. It is the system. It is not belongs to a single particle. It is not belongs to a single particle in the system. So this can be belongs to entire the system. Okay, so that is the potential. That is the concept you have to understand here. And the fourth point, it is the potential energy of the system is negative if potential energy of the system is negative, and it means that the potential energy of the system is negative. It means the particles are bounded to the system. The particles are bounded to the system. If there is no separation between the particle and to the system, and then they can be bounded to each other, then if the potential energy of the system is negative, then it can said to be in the meaning of another, the particles are bounded to each other and all the particles are bounded in the system. That is the meaning. And the fifth point here, the potential energy of the system is negative. Here it is the positive. The potential energy of the system is positive. The particles are bounded to the system. If the potential energy of the system is negative, then the particles are not bounded to the system. Particles are separated from the system. Okay, particles are separated from the system. If all the particles are in the system, then it can be the potential energy positive. If the potential energy is said to be a negative, then the particles are not bounded to the system. So for example, here let us see one example. In hydrogen atom, when electrons is revolving around the nucleus, the potential energy of the atom is negative. So here this is the hydrogen atom. The electrons are revolving around the nucleus of an atom. Then the potential energy of this nucleus atom is negative. That is electron is bounded to the nucleus of the atom. Electron is bounded to the nucleus of an atom. So here there is an electron is moving. So in this nucleus, then the potential energy it is negative. Potential energy it is equal to electron will not be separated from the system. So here you have to make the potential energy of system is negative here, and here positive. If the potential energy of the system is negative, the particles are bounded to the system. Potential energy of the system is positive, then the particles are not bounded to the system, right? And one more example here. When an electron is taken from the one shell to another, for example, this is shell K and L and M. If the electron jumps to the another shell, so then it can be separated from the boundary, then it has the potential energy is increases, then it can be said to as positive. So one shell to another, one shell to another, one shell to another, then PE is positive, PE is equal positive, it means potential energy is increases, then the particle is separated from the system. Okay, if all the particles are inside of the system or bounded to the system, then the potential energy is negative. Very, very important. If the particle is separated from the system, then the potential energy is increases and it can be said as it positive. Okay, so these are the main points you have to remember. Derivation for the kinetic energy of the body. So kinetic energy of the body Ke, it is equal to 1 by 2 mv square, mv square. So this is the derivation for the kinetic energy of the body. So what is a kinetic energy? The energy possessed by the body by virtue of its motion, by virtue of its motion, by virtue of its motion. So is called kinetic energy of the body. So a vehicle is in motion, that has the kinetic energy. Water flowing along a river, that has the kinetic energy. A bullet fired from a gun, that has the kinetic energy. A satellite going around the earth, that has the kinetic energy. These are the examples of the kinetic energy, right? So how we can derive the derivation? So derivation, let us start. So here consider a mass m, consider a mass m of a body moving with the velocity v, moving with the velocity v. A uniform force is opposing its motion, a uniform force is opposing its motion. So this is the uniform force which is opposing the motion of the body, and it can be displaces s distance, displaces s distance and comes to rest, right? So here the final velocity, it is equal to 0. Okay, so this is the displacement of the mass of a body, right? So here this is the initial velocity is equal to v and the final velocity is equal to 0. The uniform retardation of the body due to the force is a, which is obtained by the kinematic equations. We can write that it is v square minus u square, it is equal to 2as. Okay, here the initial velocity u is equal to v and the final velocity v is equal to 0. Just simply 0 square minus v square, it is equal to 2 into, what is that? A into s, a into s, where a it is equal to minus v square by 2s, a is equal to minus v square by 2s. So acceleration, retarding acceleration, it meaning that retarding acceleration. The negative velocity means the speed will be decreasing on going the body. If the time will be increases, the speed will be decreases. After some time it will be reaches to 0. So that acceleration is known as the retardation of the acceleration. Okay, the opposing force on the body F is equal to ma, it is equal to m into minus m into v square by 2s. This is the opposing force. From the Newton third law we can write that, from Newton third law, from Newton's third law we can write that force and the anti-force. Okay, and it is equal force applied on the body, it is equal to negative force of the body. So then it can be written as what here, it is F is equal minus mv square by 2s, it is minus f, it is nothing but minus into minus plus, it is mv square by 2s. Okay, so here as the body is moving against the applied force, against the applied force, okay, its displacement is along its displacement is along the force applied by the force applied by the body. Hence the work done should be acting here. So the work done should be acting on the body by the opposing force. It is equal W, it is equal, what is that? F into S in F dot S. It is equal F dot S. It is nothing but W, it is equal to F S cos theta. Fs cos theta. Where here this is the Fs cos theta. So here F, it is already, we know that mv square by 2s into S into it is cos 0. Okay, so cos 0 is equal to 1. Then so here the motion and the force acting on the body, it is the motion and the force acting on the body, theta, it is equal to 0. So then cos 0 is equal to 1, you have to SS and will be cancelled out. It is 1 by 2 mv square. So this is the work done. This work done should be stored in the form of kinetic energy. Therefore kinetic energy, it is equal to 1 by 2 mv square. So this is the derivation for the kinetic energy of the body. If a body mass m is moving with uniform velocity v and applied opposing force will be acting F on the body, and it will be moving against the force acting on the body and displaces S, and after some time it will be comes to rest. So by the laws of equation of motion we can find that the retardation of the acceleration of the body, that is retardation means it will be decreasing. What is decreasing here? The velocity of the body is decreasing here because the opposing forces are the surface of the ground. There is some opposing forces which will be oppose the motion of the body. So that's why you have to take, that is the retardation of acceleration. So this is the equation for the kinetic energy of a body. The relation between kinetic energy and linear momentum. If a body mass m is moving with a linear velocity v, then kinetic energy of the body Ke is equal to 1 by 2 mv square, and the momentum of the body P is equal to mass into product of mass and velocity of the body. Right, from this equation we can write that Ke, it is equal to 1 by 2 mv square. It can be multiply and divided by m, and then you can write that 1 by 2 m square v square by m. Then it should be written as p square, it is equal to m square v square. Now we have to call m square v square is equal p square, then it is equal p square by 2m. So this is the relation between kinetic energy and to the linear momentum of the body. From this we can say the kinetic energy of the body is directly proportional to the square of its momentum, and kinetic energy of the body is inversely proportional to the mass of the body. If mass is less, the kinetic energy is more, the kinetic energy is less. Okay, this is the relation between the kinetic energy and the linear momentum of the body, and this may be written as, here it is Ke, it is equal to m square v square by 2m. This one, m square v square by 2m. So then m and m will be cancelled out. Then we can write that it is equal to mv square mv into v by 2, mv into v by 2. Mv, it is equal to p, then momentum into velocity. So this is also a relation between the kinetic energy and to the momentum of the body. Kinetic energy and to the momentum of the body. If they have given to us momentum and the velocity, you have to find the kinetic energy. Okay, without mass, without mention the mass, we have to find the kinetic energy. They have to given momentum and the velocity of the body, then you have to use this equation, right? Here, when a bullet is fired from a gun, the momenta of the bullet and the gun are equal and opposite. So here, at before moving and after moving, the momentum of the bullet, it is equal to bullet and the gun, mv, and it is minus mv. This is equal to mv plus mv. Okay, mv plus of minus mv. So total momentum, it is equal to mv plus of minus mv. It is equal conservative. The momentum will be conservative here, and here it can be seen from the above expression, and this above expression we can express that the ratio of the kinetic energy of two bodies having the same magnitude of the momenta. The ratio of two kinetic energy of two bodies, the ratio of kinetic energies of two bodies, that is K bullet and by Ke gun, is inverse of the momenta. It is momenta of gun by momenta of bullet. Here from this we can say the kinetic energy of the bullet is more than the Ke of bullet is more than that of Ke of the gun. Okay, so this is the main concept you have to understand, right? Now we have to see some numericals. Now one more, the points to remember kinetic energy of the body. The first point, it is kinetic energy is always positive. Ke of a body is always positive. Then before that we are seeing in case of potential energy may be positive or may be negative or may be zero, but the kinetic energy is always positive because of it depends on the mass and the velocity of the body. Ke is equal depends on the mass and the velocity of the body. They are both mass and velocity is always positive. So hence the kinetic energy is always positive. Okay, it is the scalar quantity. Always positive scalar. It is always positive scalar. So the kinetic energy, second point, the kinetic energy is depends on the frame of the reference. Depends on the frame of reference. Okay, it means the kinetic energy of a person of mass m, the Ke of a person of mass m who is sitting in a train, this is a train. The kinetic energy of a person who is sitting in a train with respect to the co-passenger is equal to 0. But the kinetic energy of this person with respect to the person who sees him outside of the train is in the motion, that is the kinetic energy, it is equal to half mv square. So this is the frame of reference. With respect to the co-passenger, he has in rest motion. With respect to the other one who is at outside of the system is the motion, it is the kinetic energy, it is of mv square. Okay, so this is the frame of earth. Okay, so relation between Ke and P, already we seen that. The next point, so that is equal Ke is equal 1 by 2 PV or Ke is equal of mv square. Ke is equal P square by 2m. So this is the relation between Ke and to the momentum of the body. Right, these are the points you have to remember in case of kinetic energy. Let us see some numericals. If the velocity v is equal to 3I plus 4j plus 5k meter per second is the instantaneous velocity of the body of mass 1.5 kg, calculate the kinetic energy. So here the solution it is kinetic energy Ke is equal to 1 by 2 m v square, where v is equal to 3I plus 4j and plus 5k meter per second, and mass m it is equal to 1.5 kg. Okay, those two components are in same units. Just let us substitute directly. Then kg is equal to 1 by 2 into mass, it is equal to 1.5 kg into v square is equal to v into v. There are in vector component 3I plus 4j plus 5k into v. Again v 3I plus 4j plus 5k. So now you have to, so velocity it should be written as, you have to do dot product here. Then 3I into 3I, it is 9, 4 into 4 16. So here you should write 1 by 2 into 1.5 into 3 3s are 9 plus 4 4s are 16 plus 5 5s are 25, right? So here it is equal to 1 by 2 into 1.5 into 25 plus 25, it is 50. 50 by 2, it is equal to 25. 25 into 1.5, it is equal 12.5 should be added. So then 37.5 ke. So it is equal in joules. Kinetic energy should be in joules. Okay, so this is the answer you have to do in this type. The next question it is, the momentum of a body is doubled, by what percentage does its kinetic energy increase? The momentum of a body is doubled, so kinetic energy and the momentum should be written as Ke is equal p square by 2m here. Okay, so here what they given to us, if the initial momentum p1 is equal to p and p2 is equal doubled, it means 2p. The initial kinetic energy k1 it is equal to k, and what is the kinetic energy increase, what percent the kinetic energy increases. So the relation between ke and p square you should write, ke is directly proportional p square. It should be written as ke k1, it means k1 by k2 is equal to p1 square by p2 square. Okay, now we have to find the k2. K2 it is equal to k1 p2 square by p1 square. Right, here k1 into p2 it is nothing but 2p square. p2 is equal to 2p and p1 is equal to p square. Here k2 is equal to k1 into 4p square by p square, it is equal to k2 is equal to 4k1. k2 is equal to 4k1. This is the k2 value. Now we have to find the percentage does its kinetic energy increases. Percentage increases. The increase in percentage increase in ke, that is equal to, already we derived the formula, that is change in kinetic energy in collision. We have to derive it, change in ke by initial ke into 100, right? So change in kinetic energy means k2 minus k1 by initial kinetic energy means k1 into 100. What is k2 here? 4k1 minus k1 by k1 into 100. It is 3k1 by k1. K1 will be cancelled out. Then it can be written as 3k1 by k1 into 100. So that is equal 3 into 100. There it is 300%. The percentage change in increase in kinetic energy, that is 300% if the momentum of the body is doubled, if the momentum of the body is doubled. Okay. Now let us see, a car and truck have same momentum. Which will have more momentum? Which will have more, momentum is not here, same momentum, which will have more kinetic energy, which will have more kinetic energy. Let us see. So the kinetic energy of the body, it is equal to p square by 2m. So this is the relation between kinetic energy and the momentum of the body. So here the momentum is same, but the mass, the relation between kinetic energy and to the mass, it is inversely proportional to the mass of the body. If mass is less, m is less, then ke is more. Okay, vice versa. It means mass more, ke less. Hence, mass of the car is less to compare mass of the truck. Hence, if less mass has more kinetic energy. Hence, car has more ke. Car has more ke. Are you understand? Right. This is the last question for this case. Here, a man standing on the edge of a roof of a 20-meter tall building projects a ball of mass 100 gram vertically up with a speed 10 meter per second and simultaneously throws another ball of same speed vertically downwards with the same mass. Find K of each ball when they reach the ground. Okay. A man standing on the edge of a roof of a 20-meter tall building. So this is a building having the height 20 meter, right? So this is the building. If there is a man, he projects a ball mass 100 grams vertically upwards. Okay, and the same mass, same speed with the vertically downwards. Right, here speed is the 10 meter per second, mass is the 100 grams, and also here 10 meter per second downwards. So this is upwards, this is downwards, and the same mass, it is 100 grams. Then what is the kinetic energy of the each ball? Then reach the ground point. So after some time they will be reaches. This will be reach the ground point, and this can be reaches the ground point. At this point, what is the kinetic energy of the two balls? So the masses are equal, then the kinetic energy is also equal. So if we have to find the kinetic energy of any ball, then it has same kinetic energy of both balls, right? Here the concept it is mass is same, hence both balls reaches ground with same velocity, okay, right. Now we have to find Ke is equal to half mv square. Here we don't know the value of v square, the velocity at the time of reaches the ground point. So there m it is equal to 100 grams, it is equal 100 into 1 by 1000 of kg, it is equal to 1 by 10 kg, and initial velocity u is equal 10 meter per second. So v square minus u square, it is equal to as, s it is equal to h, it is equal, v square means v square, it is equal u square plus 2gh. So a is always in downwards, a is equal plus g, and h is equal 20 meter. So it can be u square, it is equal 10 square plus 2 into g, it is equal 10 meter per second square, into h, it is equal 20. This is equal 10 square, it is equal 100, 2 into 10 20, 20 into 20 400. So 100 plus 400, it is equal 500 meter per second, meter square second square, it is the V square value, right? You can write that therefore Ke is equal to 1 by 2. M means what is the mass? It is 1 by 10 into 500, right? It should be 2 into 50 by 2. 50 by 2 it is equal to 25 joules. The kinetic energy of each ball when they are reach the ground point is 25 joule. So this concept is very important, so please learn. Now the law of conservation of energy. So law of conservation of energy, it is meaning that the total mechanical energy of a system, the total mechanical energy of a system is constant if the internal forces are conservative. Okay, if the internal forces are conservative and external forces do no work. Okay, so this is the law of conservation of energy. The total mechanical energy of a system is constant if the internal forces are conservative and external forces do no work. There is no external forces acting on the body, only the internal forces will be acting, then the total mechanical energy of a system is constant. So the external forces, it is meaning that it is nothing but non-conservative forces, and the like frictional forces will be acting on a body, some energy will be losses. Hence the total mechanical energy will not be constant at all the time. Therefore, if there is no acting of external forces on a body, then the internal forces will be acting on the body, the mechanical energy of a system is constant. That is the law of conservation of energy. In other words, the energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. The energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can changes one form to another. The total mechanical energy always remains constant. This is the definition for the law of conservation of energy. Okay, what is that? The energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be changes from one form to another. The total mechanical energy always remains constant. So here it is. For example, when you switch on the light in your room, then electrical energy will be converted into what is that? Light energy. The light will be glow, light energy, and after some time you have to touch the bulb, then you feel the degree of hotness, that is heat energy. So here the electrical energy will be converted into light energy and plus the heat energy. Okay, so here it can be changes one form to another, but here the total energy will not be increased or will not be decreased. Here by the adding of light energy and to the heat energy will be equal to the same amount of the electrical energy which you have to use input. Okay, so it is that The energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can changes one form to another. The total mechanical energy always remains constant. For suppose you had 20 rupees inside of your pocket, you will be purchase pen for 5 rupees and notes for 10 rupees and scale for 5 rupees. Okay, so the 20 rupees of amount should be changes in the forms of pen, notes and scale, and after some time you should be given to the shopkeeper return, then you give 20 rupees. You received the amount of 20 rupees. So you should not gain or loss of the total amount which you have to before, right? But you can changes in different forms. Okay, the energy will be changes one form to another, but you cannot destroy or create the amount. Okay, so this is the energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, right? This is the law of conservation of energy. So now we have to, what is the total energy of the total mechanical energy of the system? Let us see. Mechanical energy, it is equal to mechanical energy, it is equal to potential energy and plus kinetic energy of the system of our body. Okay, under only conservative forces the mechanical energy of the system is constant. Only conservative forces, only conservative forces. Okay, only conservative forces the mechanical energy should be constant. So that is equal to E, it is equal, that is the mechanical energy is equal potential energy U plus kinetic energy K, it is equal constant. Okay, under only conservative forces, under only conservative forces. Therefore you should write that U plus K, it is equal to constant, or delta U plus delta K, it is equal to constant, or it is equal to 0, where delta into U plus K is equal to 0. 0 means it is constant. Okay, let us see a graph. This is the origin. In the x-axis you have to take potential energy. This is the potential energy. In y-axis you have to take kinetic energy. This is a slope of the graph, and a graph. Here the energy is equal to kinetic energy and the energy it is equal to potential energy. Okay, and there should be, you have to write, let us here delta K and to the delta U. Okay, here what is the meaning? That if kinetic energy of the body increases, Ke of the body, Ke of the body increases, its potential energy will be decreases. Its potential energy of the body will decreases, right? Kinetic energy will be increases, the potential energy of the body will be decreases by an equal amount. How much potential energy will be decreases, that much of kinetic energy will be increases. Okay, here from the graph there is an angle, so this is 135 degrees, here this is 90 and this can be 45. Okay, and coming to the slope, the law of conservation of energy, K plus kinetic energy plus potential energy, it is equal constant. Constant means plus C, and K it is equal here minus U plus constant. C for constant, it is Y is equal to mx plus C compared to the mx plus C, where m it is equal to minus 1. This is the slope, where tan theta it is equal to minus 1. It should be delta K by delta K by it is equal potential energy, that is delta U, it is equal to minus 1, where delta K it is equal to minus delta U. So here it is meaning that the gain in kinetic energy, gain in KE it is equal to loss in potential energy. Gain in kinetic energy is equal to loss in potential energy. So it means how much kinetic energy will be increases, that much of potential energy will be decreases. Okay, so this is very important concept you have to follow. If the external forces are, it is non-conservative forces, will be acting on a system, then you can write the total energy, that is delta E plus some, what is that, energy work done by the, that is equal to sum of the energy, it is equal to constant. Okay, so in the conservative forces you should be right delta E it is equal to constant, but in case of, this is conservative, but in case of non-conservative you should write delta E plus Q is equal to constant, where Q is the heat produced by the in external forces, that is non-conservative force, either it is frictional forces, heat produced by the external forces. Okay, so hence there is no conservative law of conservation is not possible. So this is for the non-conservative forces, then you have to write the total energy plus some amount of energy, that is nothing but heat produced by the energy. Okay, so this is in case of non-conservative forces acting on the body. So for conservative forces acting on the body you should write the energy is equal, the mechanical energy is equal constant. Okay, now let us see law of conservation of energy in case of freely falling body. A body of mass m at height h from the ground, this is the ground point, it has been located at the height h. The initial velocity of the body u is equal to 0. Okay, so let us take in 3 points in the path of the ball. So first point it is A, and the second point it is B, and third point that is ground point at C. Okay, and now we have to find the total energy at the point A, and the total energy at the point B, TE at B, and the total energy at point C. These three total energies are equal, then the total energy of the mechanical energy of the system remains constant. Hence the law of conservation of energy is verified in case of freely falling body. The total energy, it is meaning that the potential energy and the kinetic energy of the body at the same point. Okay, now let us find the potential energy and kinetic energy at point A, the potential energy and kinetic energy at point B, the potential energy and kinetic energy at point C. If these three values are equal, then it will said to be constant. There is no change in the total energy. Hence we can confirm the law of conservation of energy is verified in the freely falling body. Okay, let us verify. In this freely falling body, the potential energy decreases, and kinetic energy and Ke will be increases gradually. Okay, it means that if the body will be freely falling to the ground, then the potential energy, if the time will be increases, the height of the body should be decreases, hence the potential energy will be decreases, and the kinetic energy will be increases gradually. Okay, right. Now we have to find total energy of the body. Total energy, it is equal potential energy plus kinetic energy. Okay, so at point A, you should find at point A. So at point A, potential energy at point A, potential energy PE, it is equal to mgh. Okay, so here m, it is equal to mass of the body, it is m, and g is equal to acceleration due to gravity, and whereas h is equal to, at the point A, it has certain height, that is h. Therefore potential energy of the body at A, it is equal to mgh. Now let us write kinetic energy of the body. Kinetic energy Ke, it is equal to 1 by 2 mv square, right? So here v, it is equal to velocity of the body, that is initial velocity, it is equal to 0, right? That is m is equal mass of the body, and then Ke is equal to 1 by 2 into m into 0 square. Something into 0, it is equal to 0, it is equal to 0. Therefore kinetic energy of the body K is equal to 0. Potential energy of the body at point A, is equal to 0. Now the total energy at point A, it is equal to potential energy at point A and plus kinetic energy at point A, it is equal to mgh, and plus 0, it is equal to mgh, right? The total energy at point A is equal to mgh. So this is the total energy at point A is equal to mgh. Now if the body is traveled the distance, x distance will be traveled, then it will be reaches point B. Now the height of the body from the ground point, so this height, it is the total height of the body and minus traveled by the body, h minus x. Here h minus x, it is the height of the body at point B from the ground level. Are you understand? Right. Now we have to find the total energy at point B. Total energy at point B is equal to, at point B, at point B, body is traveled x distance, and it reaches point B. It reaches point B. Therefore height of the body h, it is equal to h minus x, h minus x. Okay, so this is the height of the body. Now potential energy PE is equal to m into g into h, where m into g into h, it is equal h minus x. It can be written as mg into h minus mg into x. So this is the potential energy of the body at point B. So let us observe the potential energy at point A is equal to mgh. The potential energy at point B is equal to mgh minus something. It means the potential energy will be decreases. Okay, so at first we write that the potential energy decreases, kinetic energy will be increases gradually. Okay, and now kinetic energy is equal to Ke is equal to 1 by 2 mv square. So at point B, you should not know how much velocity it can have. Therefore you can find that velocity from the laws of equation of motion, v square minus u square is equal to 2as, where a is equal to plus g and s it is equal to x distance. So once again you have to draw a figure for better remembering. So this is the various positions of the body at point A and B and C. So this is the h minus x height, this is the x distance traveled by the body, and this is the mass of the body, and the total height it is h from the ground point. Okay, this is the initial velocity of the ball, that is 0. So s is equal to x here, therefore v square minus u is equal to 0. 0 square it is equal to 2 into g into x. V square it is equal to 2gx. This value should be substituted in the half mv square. Therefore ke is equal to 1 by 2 m into v square, nothing but 2gx. 2 and be cancelled out. Therefore ke at b is equal to m into g into x. This is the kinetic energy of the body at point B. So already we find that the total energy at point A it is equal to mgh. So here the total energy at point B is equal, now we have to find. So for the total energy we can write that total energy is equal, total energy at point B is equal to PE at B and plus KE at B. PE at B is equal to mgh minus mgx plus ke it is equal to mgx. Therefore minus mgx plus mgx will be cancelled out, remaining it is mgh. So te at b it is equal to mgh. So te at b is equal to again mgh. The energy will not be changes. We cannot create or destroy the energy, but it can changes one form to another. Let us see the kinetic energy at point A is equal to 0 because of initial velocity is equal to 0. But in case of point B, the kinetic energy will be mgx. Something will be changes, it will be increases. Right? So now at point C. At point C. So at point C is the ground level, ground point, where there h is equal to 0. At point C, h is equal to 0 and s is equal to h. Because of if your body can be traveled h distance, then it will be reaches the ground point. Okay. So now the potential energy at point A it is, at point C it is equal to mgh is equal 0, it is equal 0. So PE at C it is equal 0. So let us observe the potential energy of the body should be decreases and it will be reaches 0. Okay. And now kinetic energy ke at C it is equal to 1 by 2 mv square. Now we have to find the velocity of the ball at the point of ground point. So let us v square minus u square it is equal to 2as, where v square minus u it is equal 0 square it is equal 2 into a is equal plus g, s is equal h here. Okay, s is equal h. Then v square it is equal to 2gh. Therefore ke it is equal to 1 by 2 m into v square is equal to 2gh. 2 and 2 will be cancelled out. ke at C is equal of mgh. ke at C is equal mgh. So this is the kinetic energy at point C. Now the total energy is equal to potential energy plus kinetic energy, where is equal to 0 plus mgh, it is equal to te at C is equal mgh. So let us see how the total energy at all the points. It is te at C is equal to mgh. So From these three equations, this is equation 3 and this is equation 2 and one more equation 1. From equation 1 to 3 we can say the total energy of a system will always remains constant, okay. So here we should neglect the frictional forces, neglected the frictional forces. It means non-conservative forces, okay. So if you calculated the frictional forces and the non-conservative forces, so then it should not at all a constant, okay, right. So this is the verification of the law of conservation of energy in case of freely falling body. Let us say example. For in case of a simple pendulum, so this is the main position. Whenever you have to move aside a pendulum, then it will be oscillating in the planar motions, okay. So this is the oscillations of the simple pendulum. At the mean position, so this is the extreme position, and also this is the extreme, okay. This is the mean position. So at the extreme position, the velocity of the bob is equal to the 0, hence the kinetic energy will be 0, but the potential energy is maximum, and the ball will be moved back at the mean position, then kinetic energy will be maximum, potential energy is equal to 0, that is minimum. If the same case in the extreme of left side, the velocity of the bob is equal to 0 and come back, then the Ke will be 0 at this position, the potential energy at this position is equal maximum. The total energy at this point and the total energy at this point, are always remains same, okay. So similarly, the oscillations of the pendulum will be obeys the law of conservation of energy, okay. Now let us verify law of conservation of energy in case of vertically projected body. In previous we are seen that the freely falling body is obeys the laws of conservation of energy. Now we have to prove that in vertically projected body. Let us a ball having the mass m, it will be thrown vertically upwards with the initial velocity u, and it will be reaches the maximum height point. So this is the maximum height point, and then the velocity of the final velocity of the ball, it is equal to 0, and the height reached by the ball, it is equal to capital H, and here there is another point, we have to choose the point B. This is the point A and this is the point C. Point A is the ground point starting with initial velocity u, and point C is the final point. The velocity of the body is equal to 0. From A to B, the ball was traveled the distance of x. The distance from the A to B, that is x, okay. The height of the body at point B is equal to x. The height of the body at point C is equal to h. The height of the body at point A is equal to 0 because of it is ground point, right. Now let us find the total energy at all the points, that is PE and plus KE, it is equal to constant. So this is our assumption, you have to prove it. In this case, the potential energy of the body increases and the kinetic energy of the body or ball should be decreases gradually. Okay, so let us find the total energy at point A, which is at ground level. Okay, right, potential energy, it is equal to mgh. Here h is equal to 0, hence the potential energy at point A is equal to 0. Okay, the kinetic energy at point A is equal to half m v square. The velocity of the ball at initially it is u, therefore ke it is equal to half m u square at B. Now the total energy at point A is equal to TE at A is equal to PE at A and plus KE at A. It is equal to 0 plus half m u square. Therefore total energy at point A it is equal to half m u square. So this is equation 1. Okay, now at point B, let us find the potential energy at point B. It is equal to mgh. It is equal to the displacement traveled by the body, the height of the body at point B, it is equal to x. It is equal to mgx. So the potential energy of the body at point B, it is equal to mgx. Okay, because of the height of the body at point B, it is equal to x. Now the kinetic energy, it is equal to 1 by 2 m v square. We should not know the velocity of the particle or the ball at point B. Let us find by the using of laws of equation of motion. It is equal to v square minus u square is equal to 2as. So velocity of the ball at point B, it is equal to v square, and the initial velocity of the ball, that is u square, and 2 into acceleration of the body in vertically projected, that is equal to a is equal to minus g, and s is equal to x. Here it is minus 2gx, right? So therefore v square is equal to u square minus 2gx here. Therefore ke at B, it is equal to 1 by 2 m v square is equal to u square minus 2gx. Let us simply half m u square minus half m into 2gx multiplied by the half m. Then 2 will be cancelled out. You should write that is half m u square minus 2gx. Okay, sorry, mgx minus mgx. So this is ke at B. Now we have to find the total energy of the ball at point B. TE at B is equal to PE at B and plus KE at B. So PE at B is equal to mgx. It is equal to mgx plus ke at B is equal to half m u square minus mgx. So minus mgx plus mgx will be cancelled out. It is equal to 1 by 2 m u square. This is the total energy at point B. Okay, so this is equation 2. And now coming to the at point C. At point C, the final velocity of the ball, it is equal to 0 because it reaches its maximum height. It reaches its maximum height. Okay, the potential energy PE it is equal to mg h, the general formula. So here the height of the ball at point C it is equal to h, then PE it is equal to mg h. Okay. Here the h it is the maximum height point. Maximum height point. The maximum height reached by the body, that is equal to h is equal to u square by 2g. U square by 2g. How we can find this? So from v square minus u square it is equal to 2as. At the final point v is equal to 0. 0 square it is 0 square minus u square it is equal 2 into g into h. It is minus 2 into a is equal minus g. So minus minus will be cancelled out. U square it is equal to 2g h. H it is equal to u square by 2g. Okay. So at the maximum height point, the height of the body h is equal to u square by 2g. Just simply you have to substitute PE is equal to mg into what is that? U square by 2g. Right. Now g and g will be cancelled out. It is equal 1 by 2 mu square. 1 by 2 mu square. So the potential energy of the body at point C is equal to half mu square. And now we have to find the kinetic energy of the body or ball at point C. That is equal to Ke is equal to half m v square, where at point C v is equal to 0. It reaches the final velocity 0 and it reaches maximum height. Then the kinetic energy at point C is equal to 0. Therefore the total energy at point C is equal PE at C and plus KE at C. So PE at C already you know that half mu square and plus it is 0. Therefore TE at C it is equal to half mu square. So this is the equation 3. From equation 1 to 3 we can say this is equation 1 and this is equation 2 and this is equation 3. From these three equations we can say the total energy always remains constant. The energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can changes one form to another. Right? At point C you should know the potential energy will be in the form of kinetic energy. Okay. So this is the understanding level of the law of conservation of energy in both freely falling and vertically projected bodies. Okay. Let us see a numerical. A ball of mass 50 gram falls from the rest vertically downwards through a distance of 40 meter and hits the ground. So a ball, it is 50 gram, falls from the rest. Okay, from 40 meter of height. Okay, find the kinetic energy and the final velocity of the ball before it hits the ground. So here you have to find the kinetic energy and the velocity of the ball at before it hits the ground. If velocity will be known, you have to find kinetic energy. It is equal to half mv square. Okay, in this case we know from the law of conservation of energy, we can know that that is loss in potential energy, it is equal to gain in kinetic energy. At first we are seeing in this video, right? So therefore mgh it is equal to half m v square. It is m and will be cancelled out. V square it is equal to 2gh. V is equal to under root 2gh. So this is the formula you have to find the velocity of the body. Okay, and what are the factors you have to asking? Mass it is equal 50 gram, it is equal 50 into 10 to the power minus 3 kilogram. Okay, h it is equal 40 meter and another one, what is that? U is equal to 0 and another one G is equal 9.8 meter per second square. Right? Just substitute and find in velocity v is equal to under root of 2 into, it is g means, what is g, 9.8 into h means 40. Okay, it is equal to 28 meter per second. So v it is equal to 28 meter per second, and the kinetic energy it is equal to ke, it is equal to half m v square, it is 1 by 2 into 50 into 10 to the power minus 3 into v square, it is equal 28 into 28. Okay, it is equal to approximately 19.6 joules of kinetic energy. Okay, so this is the answer you have to listen. So dear students, if you like the video, please hit like and share, comment, and this is most important concept for the both board examinations and the MSET, JEE and NEET. Thank you.